You ever feel like you're talking to an AI with a serious case of amnesia? You have a great chat, tell it what you like, and then next time, phew, it's forgotten everything. It's a super common problem, and honestly, it's pretty annoying. But thankfully, a really, really cool solution is starting to take shape. So today, we're going to unpack exactly how developers are building AI agents that can actually remember you.
So, why does this even happen? Well, the core issue is that large language models, by their very nature, are stateless. Think of it like this: their entire world, everything they know about you, exists only inside one single conversation. The second that conversation ends, poof, their memory is wiped totally clean. Every single time you talk to them, you are literally starting from scratch. The solution to this digital amnesia? It's a field called context engineering. This is basically the art and science of giving an AI a persistent memory, a real sense of what's going on. It's the magic that transforms a generic, forgetful chatbot into a truly personal, stateful assistant. And it's really important to get this. We are talking about something way, way bigger than just prompt engineering. You see, prompt engineering is kind of like giving an AI a good recipe. But context engineering, that's about prepping its entire kitchen, dynamically grabbing your history, the relevant facts, the current conversation, and giving the AI everything it needs to cook up the perfect response. You know, the best way to get it is with this analogy. A chef with just a recipe, they might make an okay meal. But a chef who has their mise en place, all the ingredients perfectly prepped, chopped, and organized, they can create something truly amazing. Context engineering is that all-important prep work for the AI. And this whole prep process is organized around two key components. So let's start with the first one. This is all about the immediate task at hand. Just think of it as the agent's temporary workbench. A session is basically the container for one single, continuous conversation. It's the workbench you're using for a specific project. While you're working, it's covered in all the tools, notes, and stuff you need right now. Everything's right there, but it's all temporary, and it's all just for this one task. And what's really key here is that a session holds that raw, turn-by-turn dialogue, right? It might have a little scratch pad for some in-the-moment thinking, but most importantly, it's completely isolated. One project, one workbench. This keeps things really clean and focused, but only for the here and now. So what happens when that project is done? Well, you don't just take the entire messy disk and shove it into a storage closet. Right? That would be total chaos. No, instead, you've got to organize. You need a filing cabinet. And that is exactly what memory is in this system. It's the super organized, long-term filing cabinet. So after a project is finished on the workbench, you go through everything, toss out the rough drafts, and you file away only the most critical, finalized information into neatly labeled folders. And this is what makes an agent feel personal. Memory lasts across all those temporary sessions. And it doesn't store all the raw chatter, no, it stores the extracted insights. Things like the user prefers Windows seats or their favorite team is the Warriors. This is what allows an agent to actually learn and adapt to you over time. So when you put them side by side, the picture gets crystal clear. The session is that temporary workbench for what's happening right now. The memory is the persistent filing cabinet for learning from the past. A session holds all the raw dialogue for one conversation. Memory holds the curated insights from all of them. And it's this exact combination that is absolutely essential for building a truly intelligent agent. Okay, so that's the big question, isn't it? How does the important stuff actually get from that messy workbench into the clean filing cabinet? How does an AI decide what's even worth remembering in the first place? Now, before we get into the how, we gotta clear something up. It's a really common point of confusion. A lot of developers hear about retrieving information and they immediately think of RAG, or retrieval augmented generation. But memory and RAG are two very, very different things with totally different jobs. The absolute best way to get the difference is with another great analogy. Think of RAG as the agent's research librarian. It goes to a giant public library full of static documents, wikis, PDFs, all that stuff, to find established facts about the world. Memory, on the other hand, is the agent's personal assistant. It carries a private notebook and it learns dynamic facts about you from your actual conversations. So RAG makes an agent an expert on the world, but memory makes it an expert on you. See the difference? So, with that distinction clear, how are these personal memories actually created? Well, the process is best understood as a diligent gardener tending to their garden. It's not just about planting stuff. It's about careful, continuous curation. This whole process follows a pretty clear pipeline. First, new seeds arrive from the conversation. The gardener then extracts the valuable insights, the things worth remembering. Then comes the most important step, consolidation. Here, the gardener pulls weeds by deleting duplicates or old info, prunes branches by refining existing memories, and then plants new memories. Finally, these perfectly curated insights are stored back in the garden, making it healthier and more organized over time. So how does this all come together? How do these workbenches and filing cabinets and gardeners actually create the kind of intelligent experiences we all actually want? At the end of the day, this is the core takeaway. It's not one or the other. It's the combination of the temporary workbench, the session, with that long-term organized filing cabinet, the memory, that lets us build truly personal, stateful, and intelligent AI agents that finally beat that digital amnesia. But as we build these incredibly powerful systems, it leaves us with a really critical question to think about for the future. As an AI learns to remember our preferences, our history, and our goals with perfect clarity, who really owns those memories? It's a huge question of privacy, control, and data ownership that's only going to get more and more important with every new conversation we have.